The story goes like this. In January 2021, I actually did a video on Tesla. At about time, Tesla's shares ran up to $850 per share. And this climb was such a big jump up that there was yet again a lot of hype from many of the Tesla fans. But at that point of time, Tesla's earnings per share was only 74 cents. That means the price earnings ratio was more than 1,000 times. Absolutely insane. Growth rates were already good then, I do understand that. And I tried to measure Tesla using the price earnings growth method, PEG, valuing it against Amazon, valuing it against Apple. And even with a PEG ratio of 3.5 times, the most reasonable valuation I could come up with for Tesla was between the $450 to $525 per share mark to be reasonable. I did a video on it and my conclusion from that was to wait. Yes, that was my stance on it. And not buying then in January 2021 meant that I missed out on Tesla's share price climb from then to now of about 10% in 1 year, 3 months. But if you look at the journey, there were points where Tesla shares was sub $600. But today, in my eye test, Tesla shares are actually cheaper than actually back in January 2021. I'll show you my thought process and explain why so. But you know me, I'm not the usual Tesla fan. And some of Elon Musk's marketing and fan engagement really makes me feel uncomfortable. I'm an investor at heart and valuations are everything that matters to me. And that's why you could see that way, that if I'm a critic, previously I say it was expensive, now I say it's possibly not expensive at all. Then maybe my opinion holds some weight. And in any case, if you are a Tesla super fan, smash the like button and you can get out of here already because there is nothing that I can mention that you don't already know. In any case, the rest of the video, I'll be neutral. I'll be saying the good parts, I'll be saying the not so good parts. Now, especially if you're neutral, I'll firstly touch on the plus points because they are looking very glaring, and that's where it spurred me to relook at the case study and redo the evaluations. These are actually first quarter 2022 numbers. You realize that earnings per share has actually blown past estimates to clock $3.22 for the quarter. My previous estimate was $3 for 2021, and first quarter 2022 is really blown past that amount. So fantastic achievement on Tesla's team. But you look in terms of production of vehicles, I think that's actually the root cause of where all the good performance is. First quarter 2022 has seen 305,000 produced and 310,000 vehicles delivered. That means quite easily this year's total deliveries will be 1.5 million. If we flip back 1 year ago, the total deliveries then was only 184,800. So the jump year on year, as you can see, is massive. If we move back 1 more year again, you realize that deliveries then were only 88,400. And actually production was even in surplus of delivery. Previously, before 2020, there were demand issues for Tesla, but right now it's flipped. Right now there is over demand, which means there are people who are on the wait list for their own Tesla. To any investor, if you have a product in a company that's in over demand, fantastic. You can mark up prices, which if I'm not wrong, Tesla is doing right now. Therefore, their margins have actually increased, as you can see over here. Now, if we compare the vehicle margin against NIO, for example, which is a Chinese electric vehicle manufacturer, you realize that NIO is only delivering at 20.9% vehicle margin. And NIO's deliveries have not climbed as rapidly as Tesla's. So that tells me that there's certain brand equity to Tesla. And if you can see on Singapore's roads, there are indeed more and more Tesla vehicles. Tesla is one of the top sellers right now. And that is the reason why Cat B's COE prices have been skyrocketing recently. Let's go back to forecasting what will happen for full year of 2022. Tesla's Giga factory in Berlin is now up and running. Latest reports have mentioned that they are producing 1,000 vehicles this month already. And that can be a source to fuel Tesla's 50% year-on-year compounding in terms of their growth as of this current few years projected. Usual concerns are that Shanghai Gigafactory is now underproducing because they have strict COVID measures. But quite simply, this is only a temporary phase. A drop in terms of production should be compensated somewhere in future. So not such a big concern to hit overall targets. And I think if we were to stretch it, it's quite possible that Tesla could clock in maybe even $20 per share for the full year of 2022. Right now, as of this time of filming, Tesla share is about $1,000. If you were to put $20 earnings per share, That means price earnings ratio for Tesla for 2022 looks to be around 50 times. And judging by multiple sources, it is quite possible that this 50% year-on-year growth can still persist coming few years ahead even. That means price earnings growth ratio for Tesla with price earnings at 50 times and growth rate at 50%, that means PEG ratio for Tesla right now could even be 1 time. Now, famous investor Peter Lynch has mentioned before that if price earnings growth is 1 time, that is actually a reasonable price to buy a company. Take note again, January 2021, price earnings growth forecasted. My best guess was 3.5 times, so it's actually came down massively because earnings per share right now is skyrocketing for Tesla. They have delivered operationally, and kudos to them. As an investor, I have to look at it objectively and say, quite possibly now it's cheaper than in January 2021. We're looking at actual performance. I understand that many people have highlighted before that the electric vehicle space is going to get more competitive in the year or two ahead. It's true, every automaker needs to make electric vehicles. That is the trend ahead. They're paying Tesla for credits, which is ridiculous. But my objective view is that brand is very important when it comes to consumers choosing electric vehicles. If I were to buy an electric vehicle today, I'll most likely buy Tesla also. Which means I believe the biggest competitor in the EV space to Tesla could be from Mercedes, because these are brands that also have an outstanding clout to things as compared to a Ford electric vehicle or a Chinese EV manufacturer. On the contrary, I believe the biggest risk is that Elon Musk needs to be the one that's running the show, because a lot of premium is actually delivered to him. It's quite obvious. I highlight the negative portions because positive portions all over the place, you can see them. The fan club is because share price has gone up. There is a lot of trust. But if we were to look at it objectively, there are a lot of promises that were also not fulfilled. Many years ago, he's mentioned before that he'd like to solve congestion with a tunnel. That is yet to be completed. In 2019, Elon Musk claims that Tesla has 1 million robo-taxis on the road by next year, which is 2020. But that has yet to come to fruition. Full self-driving has always been mentioned for many years already, but it is still not in final completion. I understand there are setbacks. I just want to highlight that when it comes to promises and deliveries, it is a marketing ploy that we need to look at it objectively. But I guess these are important to keep the fan base running such that consumption or brand is there. That's why there's so many people demanding Tesla shares. He's always in the news, he's always in the media, more than any CEO in the world in my opinion. So the faith is well earned, it's just that I'm always concerned when it would be reversed, because love and hate is like that. When they deliver, we all love them. When they don't, that's where doubt starts to come in. Empty promises will no longer be tolerated. And since you stayed here, I have a bold prediction to make for 2022. I mentioned before, if you follow this channel, STI would outperform Nasdaq for this year because the market has been rotating away from technology. That's something I gave as a heads up to private members, so if you're keen, look for the members channel. And I have a new prediction to make. Tesla could very well overtake Amazon to become the 5th largest company in the world by end of this year, especially with the recent earnings woes that Amazon has faced. So as always, leave your thoughts and comments in the sections below, and if you have benefited, smash the like button, smash the subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Take care and goodbye.